Hey folks, Dave the Not So Evil, EvilViking13 here, and welcome back to episode 4 of my secret Vault-Tec command bunker Let's Build project. You are actually looking at 10 Pines Bluff Farm, and the mountainside that I have created to disguise the underground command bunker. A lot has changed since the last time that I recorded a Let's Build episode, even though it's only been a week. I've been working quite a bit on my own to fill in some details. And again, I'm not going to show you guys everything just yet because I don't want to spoil it all for the final tour. But as you guys can see, I've been adding a ton of detail, from some windmill power plants to some additional shacks and walkways around the cliffside to help it look lived in and like the cliff was already here and not just all one gigantic prop. Go at a free cam here, and I'm gonna head around this way and give you guys again just a glimpse of what I've been working on. Excuse me, shopping cart. I've gone around and added turrets to basically everything. Here this one has an access ladder, as you can see. This is what the watchtower looks like from below with the additional power plants and the kind of rickety leaning power lines. I've gone through here and added a bunch of shacks just so I can convince Joel in the final tour that this is already lived in and this outside area is actually what we're supposed to be touring. Ideally, he'll have no idea that there's any kind of vault or underground settlement here. I'm going to tell him that this is just a small settlement while I work on other ones. Of course, if I keep it up, this actually won't be a small settlement at all. I'm actually already starting to get a bit of an FPS drop. And you know what? Before we go any further, I'm going to go back. I just noticed that this platform back here is floating. Turn off the workshop timeout. Oh, I actually can't grab that in the workshop mode. It's too far outside. It's okay. Mod position, Z, -15, let's say. I'll just use the manual console command. Let's give it 2 more. There we go. Now it's not floating anymore. But hey, seeing I'm already in the workshop, let me show you guys what I have added over here on my fake cliffside. Since last time, you guys will notice a ton of railings and additional vegetation like vines and some mushrooms down here, and all kinds of growth to just make the cliffside look like Bethesda actually placed it here and not me. Also very happy with how this nice rock turned out for the landing step for the rickety staircase. I've also done, speaking of rickety things, a ricketiness pass, I guess you could call it. Essentially, I've gone through, and let's just go all the way up here, and I can show you guys a good example. I've gone through and just rotated almost all the objects up here by just a bit. You can look at the deck right there to give it that pre-war look, like it's been here for hundreds of years and is about to just fall down. All of these railings have just little bits of random rotation like that, or like this. I can change the axis to Y, make it kind of lean in a bit like that, lock it down. This is one of the huge advantages that the Place Everywhere mod has as far as making a settlement look lived in, you know, outside of the ability to place everywhere like the name says. Like you guys suggested, I've also gone through, and besides the railings and the turrets and stuff like that, I've actually added little bits of grass and dirt all the way up the side of the cliff face. There's some right there, some extra small rocks, little bush right there, and some vines hanging underneath the tower. All those small details combined with a random rotation almost makes my additions look like they were already here in Bethesda's world. I'll slow down here for a second so you guys can get a good look. I am beyond happy with how that came out. That is exactly what I had pictured in my mind. Did you guys notice that even the telephone pole right there is leaning just a bit? Yeah, this looks lived in, and it's pretty awesome. Like, I could be happy giving Joel a small tour of this settlement, even if this was all that was here. But of course, this is not all that's here. And today, we're going to be working on the interior some. First though, one of you guys in the comments had a fantastic idea for one more addition for up here in the cliffs. And I don't have your comment handy at the moment, so I'm going to have to give you credit in the description or in the comment section. But one of you guys had an awesome idea for a sniper's chair up here on the cliffside, and that is perfect. So I'm going to put a chair here, and then a simple table. Let's go with this one right here. I've got to place it down where I can actually normally work in the workshop, and then drag it up here outside of the build area in order to place it. Let's see. Let's not fall off either. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's get it close, and then add that bit of rotation to it. Turn off snapping. Now all I need is a sniper rifle, and I don't know if I actually have one. I may have to come back for that. What I can do though is I can go ahead and place an ammo container. It's in here somewhere. Oh, it's a homemaker mod. Prop. There we go. I'll place the classic one down here again and just grab it up. Rotate it just a bit to make it fit. Let's go this way. Do a quick save and see what I have for my weapons. Oh, I've got some kind of Pip-Boy glitch. Have to look for mod updates. Oh man, it is impossible to see here. Night vision assault rifle. Stalker's assault rifle, submachine gun. For now, I'm just going to drop the night vision assault rifle. And down the stairs it goes. Not exactly a sniper's weapon, but the night vision scope would make it pretty useful for a lookout. Alright now. There is a key I can use for place everywhere to actually lock props into place. I don't have that handy either, but I'm going to look back and make sure that that won't fall. Oh, and one of you guys also pointed out that I was low on water resources, and I am working on that. I've got some pumps out here, but I'd like to have a room inside maybe with some exposed dirt with a water pump too, as like a emergency backup for the inside of the vault.
For trouble, I hope.
Let's go on inside here.
Hey, you mind keeping an eye out for a second? You gotta run a diagnostic.
Yeah, I think a shotgun turret is definitely going to go into this corner right here. Inside of the command bunker, I've been going through and adding all of the signs and quite a few lights too. This build is getting to the point though where I've got to make a final decision on what this main part of the vault is, and I've placed one of these power cycles here as just an idea. This bunker is really too small to be like, you know, a full survival bunker. This would be the kind of thing that you would stay in for a few months maybe, while waiting for the radiation to dissipate after an atomic bombing. So what I'm thinking is if this was some kind of military DIA secret bunker that was built before the war by Vault-Tec, but just for a short period of time, a workout area, like a training room for their secret agents or soldiers, would kind of make sense, because once the bunker was opened up, you'd want to be ready to go out and secure the Commonwealth after the war. So that's what I'm thinking, guys, is a training area, maybe maybe not a boxing ring. I was thinking about a boxing ring, but that's going to take up a wild amount of space. I'm pretty sure there's some exercise equipment in here somewhere. Not sure where though. I'm not super familiar with all the Vault stuff yet, or even the stuff from the Wasteland Workshop DLC. The second one, the contraptions one. Because I have so many mods, it's very easy to lose the official updates when they come in. You know what? I'm going to think it over some more. We're going to come back to the idea of the exercise room. What I do kind of have locked down as far as ideas go is the Communications and Research Center. As you can see from the sign there, Security Research. And look, guys, I fixed the floating fan. Okay, but not the floating poster. Let me fix that. Basically, anything you see during these Let's Build videos, don't consider it final, because traditionally, you know, in the past, doing the castle build and all, I've gone back and done anywhere from like 20 to 25, 30 hours of additional work on a build after I end the Let's Build series. So you guys aren't seeing everything. And don't worry, because I don't think I've ever missed any kind of big mistakes like floating objects. Let's add some vault power conduits over here. I'm going to hide one back there behind the greeble decoration. Already got one there. I actually like the exposed rock here. It looks pretty awesome. Yeah, I've gone through and added some greebles like this just to make the bunker look a little bit rougher than Vault-Tec's, you know, usual fare. Okay, that can go back quite a bit. You know what? I will just position this manually if it wants to fight it. Cool. So I've got some cabinets here. Glitched a bit awkwardly because this prop is actually huge. It goes like way below the terrain. But I like how stacked up all these cabinets are. So I might put a desk there. And this is where that new vault furniture is really going to come in handy. I think under containers, I might have some vault furniture. I think that was a vault desk, but I want to see what else we have too. Yeah. Here's the official vault desk and the drawers. Hamper. Large filing cabinet here. Of course, the very large intelligence agency seal on the floor. Will a desk actually fit here? Could you get to those files? I think you could. Yeah. Let's put one there. And one here. What other vault furniture do we have here? that's all the modded stuff. Well, the Minutemen are occupying the bunker. So we could have brought stuff in from the wasteland. Got a filled bookshelf here. I don't want to block that intake fan though. I can put that in the lounge area because, you know, even if I decide it won't work here in the command center, I'd imagine that even before the war, you'd want a good amount of books to read. I think we have, yeah, the actual vault desk chairs. Put one there. This light is not quite enough for the room. Let's look at tables before I go look at lights, though. Ah, the overseer's desk. I'm gonna place this and just see how it looks. I gotta move the bookcase, though. I can't get around it. Okay. That could look kind of cool. We could have the lackeys' desks back here. All the workers. Then have the commander's desk, not really the overseer, because again, this is not really a Vault-Tec owned facility or run facility. It was just built by them. We could have the lackeys back here, and the commander's desk right in the center. Oh. There we go. Axis change to Z. Position that like that. It might look more organized with more electronics here too. Like along this wall. I'll move that there for now. Put our bookshelf. I'll just leave it there for now. That might go upstairs with the lounge. So I want to focus on the command room. I'm liking how this looks. Let's see. Miscellaneous electronics. That's where Homemaker is going to have a bunch of their stuff. It's an actual terminal we can use. We could have a small one here. Whew, that is eating up our fiber optics. So those are all the terminals. I think in here we have some decorations we can use. Let's see. Oh yeah, all this new workshop stuff. Fireworks, mortars. Cycling light. Oversized Nixie tube. Now this, I've been wanting to find a use for. What could we use this for as far as like 3 numbers goes? Because I think these can only display numbers. That's not centered. Or I could do 4 and have them display the date of the nuclear attack on America, which was October 2077. got to use these. They're so cool. I just can't figure out for what. Do these actually have to be connected all together, or can I just... Here, let's just do this. Float. Connect. And then I will use place everywhere to force them into location. Yeah, they just look too cool not to use, but I think they're just numbers. Well, for now, we'll do a little Easter egg for EvilViking13. That actually looks kind of legit, guys. Okay. Yeah, if you guys can think of something better besides 1313 for the numbers, I can change up the amount of the terminals that we're using, or the Nixie tubes, if you guys can come up with something cool. Oh, and for the decontamination arch, a couple of you guys pointed out that it does not look super great in the entranceway there, so I'm going to be on the lookout for the new Vault-Tec stuff, because apparently there's a radiation scrubber that came with that. I just need to find it. Alright, do a light like this for the commander's desk. You know, I think I like the smaller lights instead of just having all overheads. Speaking of overheads, this one is most definitely floating. There we go. I think more electronics. I was pretty sure that I had some more terminal pieces. Maybe it's decorations. Got homemaker statues here. Got some grim fellows in here. Far too big to fit into the vault, though. Ha! Decorations, electronics. This is what I was looking for. I think this unit was actually added in with the Vault-Tec DLC, but I'll go ahead and place it here. I think a couple of these server units will look good in these edges like this. I think just a couple of these smaller consoles will look good while still letting me actually walk around this command area. Okay, we need a couple more of those overseer's chairs. Ooh. Okay, guys. I'm gonna get distracted here for a second because I had an idea. I've been leaving breadcrumbs for when I do the final tour for the vault reveal for Joel. Oh, I closed the door behind me. Of course I did. A really neat breadcrumb might be not anywhere close to the build, but maybe, you know, 70 or 80 feet out. A Vault-Tec van. Perhaps like half buried. Here's the trucks. Yeah, so that would leave a clue. That I could point out once I reveal the vault. It's the actual Vault-Tec van. Okay, yeah, so it's this one right here. That's the Vault-Tec one. Who cost me 5 nuclear material for this prop? Okay, where could I hide this thing? I don't know how it could have gotten here. I really don't know where the nearest road is, so let's just sink it like that. Let me go into free cam for a second. Where could that have driven from? Well, there's basically just forest around here. Yeah, I guess this would have had to come from these roads over here. But yeah, I mean, it's a nuclear war. He could have been driving madly through the forest, trying to get to the vault that he knew existed. I think that's convincing enough, at least. What was I doing before? Oh yeah, Overseer's chair. Let's go back inside our vault bunker here. Decorations, vault, miscellaneous. That's got the Christmas tree. I might use that modern chair instead of the rolling desk one. This one looks like a supervillain from a comic books chair. And I also need to replace that light on that back wall. Any more room for posters? Got that one there, but that's kind of an awkward placement. Let's put this fire panel over here so I can center the poster like this. Put this loudspeaker over here. Yes, I actually added a loudspeaker. Figured for like vault announcements from the commander, alarms, kind of makes sense. And with that poster in place, be vigilant, communism is coming. The one thing I'm trying to think about, guys, is I feel like this is not super secure. If this is a security research room, it would probably be walled off. So let's look next. Well, let's put that light back first before I forget. But after that, let's look at options for sealing that room off. That's not very bright at all. Let's go with a small ceiling light over the file cabinet here. Snap. That's almost too bright. What about this one? That has not quite as much spread to it. I don't want these lights bleeding out too much to the outside. Okay. If I seal this room off, this desk might have to go, so let's scoot it off to the side for now. What do we have for doors? Went right to the vault door. It's got to be a pretty clean looking door. Got some pipes that are doors. Huh. I mean, a vault door makes the most sense. I wonder if I can make that work. Gonna have to turn snapping off. I like the angle though, because it will give the vault slash bunker less of a blocky feel to it, which I always prefer. Use this column to seal up that gap. And make sure that it's not bleeding through up here. It is. So I'll lock that selection, scoot it down out of sight, and unlock the selection. Well, we can probably just use a second pillar to seal this gap up. Okay. Oh yeah, easily. Well, that worked out pretty well. Okay. Doors. Let's turn snapping back on. Security research and overseer's office. Cramped, but everything you need for conducting your government approved research. Okay. I'm gonna scoot this panel just a bit this way. And I think that's going to do it for the large decorations for this room. Anything further and we're really going to be hampering our ability to walk. I mean, already you can't really get around this side at all. I think the corner where the desk used to be is definitely a prime candidate for one of those extra electronic decorations. How about this one? Oh yeah. That'll fit back there. Again, really going through my fiber optics here. I'm not sure if there's a fast way to get more of those. You know what would look kind of cool in here, guys? Given that this is supposed to be a little bit of a, you know, fancier commander's area. Some planters. Those are under miscellaneous, which is also my most crowded category thanks to all my mods. So bear with me, guys, while I scroll through a bunch of this real quick. Clothing box. It's a Vault-Tec approved prop. Now that I'm really thinking about it, guys, what would work in this area a lot better than just a terminal, I think. A table with some coffee. I just passed this coffee set back here, but to build it I need a clean coffee tin. So I'll find one of those and come back to it, but I think instead of a planter, a nice coffee set for the commander's office actually makes a bit more sense. I can put a dead potted plant there, though. Or perhaps this fancy potted plant for the corner. Yeah, let's store that one. Move you to there. I can still walk through here, and there's still room for a coffee set. Okay. Whew, this is crowded. There's one table that I have in the back of my mind that would be absolutely perfect for the coffee set, and there it is. I'll let you guys be the judge of this, but do you think a painting would work well in here? It's a research center, but it's also where the commander of the bunker works. So perhaps over the coffee set, maybe a modern painting. I'm going back and forth on that one, guys. Let me know, as always, what you think of that idea. And I'll have to find that coffee tin and come back to actually place the coffee set. For now, though, that's all of the main props placed for the Security Research Center. Crowded, but cool. Scoot that just a bit. Okay, to finish off this episode of the Let's Build series, I'm going to work on the common area, which, given its size, should be a bit more straightforward. I'm going to place the bookshelf back here in the corner. And of course that's going to need a reading chair of some kind. And this is going to be the clean furniture for sure. I think if we go to the very end here, we have the official Vault-Tec DLC furniture. You know, guys, I never actually get a chance to use the modern stuff. Let's use the modern furniture. I'll go with the reds. These actually fit perfectly just like that. Oop, let's not grab the wall. Got some stools. And I think we can fit a couple of chairs like this. This room back here is going to be the shower room, just past the common area. But I think there's plenty of room to walk around these chairs here. That leaves tables. What do we have for the new vault stuff? A very modern coffee table. Ooh. That's cool. Yeah, it looks like we actually have a couple of different options. And a modern end table too. Yay, it takes steel. Less of my wood used up. I think a television set might fit well in here too. What might that be under? Before I head out of this section, I'll go ahead and just place the shelf I was thinking of. Oh, I placed this green brick as kind of a modern decoration to center the cramped but pleasant common area, which of course comes with a great view down to the floor below. Okay, decorations, vault, miscellaneous, might be under electronics. Let's see. That's just posters. Vault-Tec statues. Yeah, let's check electronics. Miscellaneous. Hey, we have the arcade machines. Atomic Command arcade machine. A little bit ironic for a command bunker, but I kind of like that. I feel like it would be under decorations, but it's just not there as far as TVs go. Decorations, electronics. Now we may have a modded in pre-war TV in here. Hey, the radiation scanner. I don't think that's the one I was looking for, but that could work. There's actually quite a lot in here that I had not noticed. Do Diamond City Radio there on the wall. Then a small console detail. These are pretty neat. I may have to use some of these guys. They're actually animated too. If I clip the blue lights into the ceiling, they look less like Institute things. Scale it down there just a tiny bit. I'm going for kind of a mixture between like a actual Vault-Tec vault, a military bunker, and like a World of Tomorrow feel. I can clip that into the cabinet. And it can actually be a nice little tabletop TV set. Move that shelf up to match. This is making me want to revisit downstairs. Let's get rid of the decontamination arch, which also required its own power source and looks pretty ugly. I'm going to get rid of these wires for now. I'll leave those tiny power leads until I decide what to do. Do a radiation scanner there. And there. And perhaps one or two inside here. Angle them like this. That looks much better than the decontamination arch, even if they don't actually function, they just look cool. Monitor bank. This might fit in better with the command bunker instead of the painting. Let me just store this painting out here for now. Let's see. Gotta make that fit a bit better to line up with the screens now. And I really liked how this console looks with the please stand by. It even has like a wooden design on the side. So I'm going to put that over here instead. Scoot that right in like this. And again, this is not the final pass for this room. I still have some small props to add. You know, keys, the coffee pot, stuff like that. But this should give you guys a pretty good idea of what I'm aiming for that final tour. Okay. Well, if I'm done rebuilding the command center, which maybe I'm not. Well, I can still walk around it, but that looks like a nice control panel for the screens. The lighting in here just seems a little bit off. I don't know if that lamp idea actually is a good one. I feel like the research center should be lots of bright lights. No dark corners. And as long as that does not bleed out to the outside, we should be okay. Yeah, as cool as the decorative lights are, I don't think they fit in well either. Let's stick with just the fluorescents. And now we really don't have any kind of super dark spots here. And of course, one last decoration before I save the rest of the detailing for later in here. The Minutemen have been here for a while. Gotta have the small version of the General's banner. And a Minutemen flag would fit in quite nicely, hung up over this rock section. Not totally covering it, because again, I like the detail that the rock actually adds. But something like this. Come on, rotate right. Okay. Now we're talking. That's feeling pretty awesome. Is there room for the flag? The American flag? Oh, they actually clip right through the top. Yeah, that actually takes up too much space, guys. But what I can do is this. Set scale. Let's say 0.08. Oop. Oh, it's too tiny. It's a little itty bitty flag. Okay, that's way too small. Let's do 0.20. That's more like it. turn snapping off. Just place this manually because it's going to have the collision behind it still. Which is why I actually can't grab this lamp. Because technically the game thinks that the giant flag is still there. As you guys can see, I'm like stuck on it right here. Turn off snapping. Now that is a research laboratory to be proud of. Cool. Let's leave that alone again and make a few more adjustments to our common area right here. First of all, we need some lamps because it is grim up here. What do we have for lamps? Yeah, I'll use the lamps in here to make it more of a homey feel. Okay, that kind of works for me. The ceiling fan would be kind of dangerous with that super low ceiling. Huh, I don't think these lamps are going to fit at all up here. But that's okay. If you want to read, you can come down over here. Ooh, I'm wasting my copper. I'm thinking orange one might look more interesting. Yeah. Nice warm reading light. That's our reading chair right there. Oh, I know what I was trying to remember earlier. Carpets. Got some modded ones here, but I actually really like this rug. It would help though if I would center it. That definitely has a bit of that World of Tomorrow feel to it. Helps that I have the Boston poster back here. But I may make room for that painting back here and put the Boston poster somewhere like here. Let's move the radio just for a second. Oh. That doorway needs to go down. Glad I caught that. It's not perfect, but it should work. Okay, yes, the painting is still here. Now, I may have to resize this, but I'm glad that I left it out. Let's see, set scale 0.75. And there we have it. It needs, of course, its final prop pass of the super small decorations, but we've got ourselves a World of Tomorrow futuristic bunker living space, guys. Again, that's basically exactly what I had in mind, minus the radio stuck awkwardly on the pillar. There we go. I'll just center it on the pillow. Well guys, we are out of time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the build. I'm actually starting to run a bit low on things to work on with you guys. We are approaching the final few rooms. We've got the personal quarters, the bathrooms, which I'm just going to do on my own. You guys don't care about me building the bathrooms that all my builds end up having. We got the shower room. Same thing there. I'll take care of that on my own. I've really got to lock down this main area before next time. That's going to be my primary goal. And then of course we have the security room and the cafeteria, and then finally the clinic down near my quarters. But okay, so there's a few more rooms than I was expecting, but I think what I'm going to work on with you guys will be the primary area right here, the main part of the bunker next, followed by the personal quarters, then the cafeteria and the security offices. And of course, outside of the recording, I'm still going to be working on the outside areas to help conceal the rest of the bunker. I've got a few more details that I want to add to really sell this build even from the outside without seeing the bunker. Hope you guys are enjoying. I am really having fun with this very unique and very different build, and I'd say I've got my money's worth out of the Vault-Tec DLC for sure. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.